I really do think this is the way to go. We can't go on, I said more dramatically than is technically necessary. You just heard me speak in character as I was typing. I do that in my head, not usually out loud, but I do that because it's imperative that your characters be their own people. The first couple of stories I wrote before God Awful Loser, the first couple of novels, the characters weren't truly characters. They were characteristics. So if the character's name was Tommy, Tommy had the characteristic of being jealous. But I didn't give him more. I didn't give him a voice. I didn't give him a personality outside of that jealousy. So the more you write, the more you learn to give your characters more than one dimension. They're more than one feeling. We're all more than one feeling. We're all more than the way we behave in any given moment. After a while, I do hear them in my head. And when I write a chapter, sometimes they get ahead of me. They react, and I hear their reaction, and I write to it. And that probably sounds strange because I'm the creator of them. But if I've created them well, they will react in a situation instinctively, and it might not be the way that I had wanted the story to go. I might have wanted it to go this way, but they wouldn't naturally go that way. They'd naturally react and go this way. All that typing will eventually lead to a manuscript like this, and you can see that there's writing on here. This is writing from one of the members of my writers group. We share our story as we're writing it, and then in the end, we hand each other the final piece to read again from front to back and give each other feedback. So this is professional feedback that I get from other writers in my writing association, but I also get feedback from kids if I can, and from readers who are not necessarily writers. And what I always want to find out from them the most is if they were entertained, if they could follow the story, if there were any sections that perhaps they didn't understand why a character acted the way they thought the character might. You don't necessarily act on everything that they say, but you listen to see if maybe you do need to make some changes for the sake of them being able to understand. I like grammar. It's important to me. I think it shows respect to your reader to have proper grammar. It makes reading more interesting and more fun because they don't have to stop and go back and try to figure out what it was you were trying to say. As the writer, I've been with the text so long that it's very easy for me to go right over a sentence and think it's perfect and find out from someone later on that there are 2 words missing. And believe it or not, as the writer, you can't see that there are 2 words missing because you know what's supposed to go there and your brain fills it in. If the reader doesn't understand your story, you can't blame the reader. You have to realize that you somehow failed in getting your point across. And so, yay, you get a chance to rewrite it and get it right so that they can understand your vision. I'd like to show how much revision goes into a novel. It took me 1.5 years to write God Awful Loser. You'll see that some of it is highlighted. Sections are crossed out. Sections are moved from here to there. Oh, look, I added something. Oh, I better do this. Here are some adjectives that I've decided need to go in there somewhere. I might have crossed this out because I might have put it in my computer. I might have transposed it. And, yep, a lot of crossing out. No, I don't like that term. I like this term. Keep that word. Keep this section. So the ideas might come flowing, but that doesn't mean they come flowing in the right order. So you have to write what you can and change things around, and it's a lot of fun. Hardest thing about writing is putting yourself out there. Putting your creative vision out into the world, into a world where there is a lot of criticism. You can put a lot of your thoughts and ideas and beliefs into a book, only to have someone ridicule the book for whatever reason, including that it's just not their idea of a good story. They don't typically read something, or they expected you to write something else. It can be scary, though, if you are an author who decides to take on a challenging topic, something that isn't very popular, and have people read it as if you are promoting that topic. So it takes a certain amount of bravery to be a fiction writer. It takes a certain amount of courage to let your characters speak the way they would speak and understand that you are not necessarily reflecting your views onto the world and be able to defend that. The best thing about writing is when you write something the way you envisioned it in your head, and then you improve it. And so you not only get the scene right, but you get the characters' gestures right, and you get their words right. And sometimes something surprises you, and you type something, and it's witty, and it's funny, and you're like, where did that come from? And you read it, and you're like, that's just fantastic. I was lucky to have a chapter like that, where I just loved the chapter, and I was amazed by it. And I thought, the rest of the book's going to be great, but this chapter is the bomb. I love it. The advice that I would give about writing is to keep doing it. Just like any other activity, the more you do it, the better you get. It's hard sometimes to want to continue something if you're no good at it, or if you think you're no good at it. But if it's something that you want to try, keep trying it, keep trying it, keep trying it, keep trying it, and you'll find that you do get better. So if the first couple of times you try writing a longer story, you get frustrated and you want to quit and you say, this is not for me and I can't do it, you know what? That's okay. There isn't a writer out there that has put out something great the first time around. It takes 10 times, dozens of times, 100 times before you write something that you really feel is, this is good, I can show this to people. And that's okay, that's the learning process. When I was writing God Awful Loser, and now that I'm writing God Awful Thief, I had to do some research. I wanted to get the basis of the mythology right, because I grew up reading mythology, I love mythology, and I didn't want to just make things up completely out of whole cloth. I wanted there to be some aspects of the mythology that was true to what's always been. And so there was research that I did. I was not married to the mythology of the past. I used it to give my characters homes and a place of origin, but I certainly added to that mythology and created my own.